So I'm going to be honest. We had some major issues. I came down here at 5:45.
And started updating his computer.
Are we streaming from the Austin Dave & Buster's? No, but I wish I was.
We can't afford that.
Yeah, we started this so I was up till 3 a.m. kind of tweaking everything to make sure that everything was going to work okay. Everything worked perfectly. I was micromanaging everything. Came down at 5:45 and it was a nightmare. My PC was demanding an update and it shut down all the USB ports, so nothing was working. We had to rebuild the stream field. So anyway, you don't care about that. I am Jason, in case you didn't know. I
am Matt. I'm the fat one on the end.
And this is Swain, local pinball head.
Good evening.
Yeah. So we are going to play some Lexi. We're going to talk to you guys. And if you'll see on the screen right now, we have the standard top-down view. We have an up playfield view that is a camera that is going to be probably hitting us in our guts. And then we also have an LCD Translite back box display that is labeled as such, just in case you weren't sure. And that is a direct feed into the back box on the P3. So we're going to do some P3. We're going to talk about all things pinball, and we're going to have some fun. So
hopefully.
I'm going to be completely honest. I've had a few beers in me to try to counteract the stress I was getting.
He hooked it to his veins.
Yeah. I'm not going to say numbers, but I've had a couple. So who's playing first?
I've never played it. Let's give it a try.
Give it a try.
How bad it goes.
Yep.
All right.
Are we doing games of 3, or are we just all taking turns playing a single game?
Let's play a single game. That way we can. Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Hey, Chuck Wirt, thank you for the host.
Yes. Chuck was instrumental in getting this stream going and just absolutely huge in the whole process. That guy is a wealth of streaming knowledge. So huge thank you, Chuck. Volume okay, guys? Let us know if somebody's too loud.
Not me.
Let us know if somebody is too loud. If the game is not loud enough, it could be. So.
All right, we ready?
Have at it.
All right.
Murder Dog and Trash Panda, no one wants to see that, especially on the internet.
There is, and I've tried to tackle that, and I'm aware of it. That is a temporary webcam that's on top of the TV. Everything else is camcorders that's HDMI direct, and the Logitech, for some reason, has a nasty delay. So
Jason really skimped on this whole setup.
It will get better, I promise. So I'm a little behind on the podcast this week. I'll be honest, because this has taken up so much of my time. Any hot button topics you guys want to talk about?
Who has their Jurassic Park Pro? Anyone? They're shipping now, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, in fact, Zach got one up to Ken and Bill up at Special and Lit.
Yeah, definitely a Grandpa Pigeon streaming rig. Oh, man. Grandpa Pigeons.
Turbo, what's up, brother?
Welcome to the stream.
So ball movements looks okay, right? Everybody seeing what we are?
Oh, we have the ball cam on?
Yeah, kind of.
Guess I should have shaved.
So you early adopters, machine's a little low. Okay. Swing next ball. Give me a chance to raise the volume.
Sure.
So you guys that are, thank you, Taco. You guys that are early adopters, I want to share something with you. If you look up in the corner, it says next week's podcast, Devil with a Cause. So we have been working on this for months. And this weekend, we are going to announce what we are doing. And what we are doing, can you see on the webcam? You see over Matt's hat? You see that light right there? So No, the trace is on Lexi. That's normal. So up there in the corner is Gorgar. And that Gorgar is a game that I hold dear. I actually traveled a long way to get that. And it's in really good shape, near CQ. So long story short, a lot of you guys know that I'm diabetic. I had some issues a few weeks ago now. But at 10 years old, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and I was admitted to a children's hospital here in town called Cardinal Glennon. And I'm old enough now and doing okay, and I'd like to do something to pay it forward to Cardinal Glennon. So what I did was I started this process, and a lot of you are familiar with Project Pinball, and they supply machines for hospitals, for children's hospitals. And what we did was we asked if they would be interested in supplying one for Cardinal Glennon, and they said yes. So that's the first part of the story. The second part of the story is because it was something that I hold near and dear, what we are going to do is Matt and I are going to auction off the Gorgar, but not just the Gorgar. I'll get to that in a second. We're going to auction off the Gorgar, and 100% of the proceeds from the Gorgar are going to go to the Project Pinball campaign to put this machine in Cardinal Glennon. We're going to talk a lot about that on the next podcast, but I thought, as you guys that are obviously early adopters, I thought it would be cool to bring you into the fold and let you know what was going on. And we are going to offer some really cool stuff on top of the machine. No, Gorgar is not going in the hospital. Neither is Lexi. We are selling Gorgar to fund Project Pinball to buy a machine that will go in the hospital. Yeah, Gorgar would not be a good fit in a hospital. But the name of the campaign is going to be Devil with a Cause. And actually, I will say what sparked all this was the release of the Star Wars home pin. Because I saw something that potentially was sold at a price that I think is going to help out Project Pinball, and it got my wheels turning as far as that would be a great thing to do for a local children's hospital. So there's going to be Stern giveaways. There is going to be our friends at Multimorphic are also supplying some things. Robin at Pinside is involved. He is listing the machine for no cost because of what we're doing. We've got a lot of people that we're talking to make this happen, and we are hoping that someone out there that is generous is going to put a nice offer on this machine. And in turn, what we are going to do is we are going to have a nice, go ahead and play another one, Swain, if you want. Okay. We're going to have a nice framed
Don't suck this
certificate
time, though.
explaining what happened with the machine, where the funding came from, and what is going on. We are also going to, what all was on that list?
I don't know. You're the brains of this operation.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We are also going to offer to, if the person that buys the machine wants to, they can be on the podcast. We're going to personally thank them on the podcast. We will call you via Skype, whatever. You also can be on one of our next streams, our upcoming streams. You also, if you can make it to St. Louis to pick up the machine in person, Matt and I are going to pay for your hotel. We are going to pay to feed you, and you will have access to this game room for the entire weekend as much as you want it.
This is the sum total of my life savings, and it's all going to be yours.
Yeah. So I will go into much more detail this weekend on the next show, but I'm excited about this, and I wanted to share it with you guys who I consider some of our most loyal folks, because you came in early on this, what could have been a disaster of a stream, but so far looks like it's going okay. So personally, I wanted to thank you, but we'll have a lot more info coming out on it and exactly what is going to be bundled with the machine.
Yeah. And we're straight up donating at Magic
Yes,
Man.
there
We're
will
not
be
buying
no
any of the
raffle tickets. I have no desire to try to parlay this into some benefit for me. I am also going to supply receipts for whatever the selling price is that will be made public and posted on Pinside, Facebook, and anywhere else that anyone would like it, showing the full amount paid to Project Pinball. So integrity is big with us. So what will the machine sell for? Well, I'll go into details on the show, but given its condition, it has a clear-coated play field, almost perfect cabinet, pretty close to. It is near CQ or CQ, depending on your idea of what that is. And we are going to. What was I talking about?
I tuned out like 5 minutes ago.
Did you? Yeah, we're going to be really transparent about the whole process. So Swain is playing. We do not have a camera on the player, and
Thank God.
I apologize, but we thought it would be better served to have the up playfield camera, and I hope you...
Swain, your mic is live, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
That's why I spoke into it. I think I see some dimpling on this play field, though.
We will stream the Gorgar, yes, leading up to the sale of it, and we are hoping to get that done in the next couple weeks. And again, that fits our theme of games that are kind of off the beaten path. So,
Yeah, no one's heard of Gorgar.
yeah, it doesn't get streamed.
It
often.
doesn't get streamed very often.
Yeah,
You are right.
So, fun game, first talking machine. So, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thump thump. Give the governor a thump thump.
Thanks.
No,
Glad you guys liked the
less
stream.
Swain. And Trash Panda, the resolution on this camera isn't very good. That was a lot less than $8.
So I've been working on this stream for about, what's it been, 3 weeks? Longer?
At least.
Yeah. So I hope you like it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn the playfield light on. I'll be right back. Man, keep them entertained.
I don't know what to do. I just want to play some pinball. Swain did wear his finest shirt. Can we get some cheers, Swains, in the chat?
Hey, grab a part.
When he comes back to the table, we'll just have to take a moment to appreciate the majesty that is Swain's ensemble tonight. We've got an orange tuxedo T-shirt. We've got a nice pair of jorts.
He is rocking the jorts.
He's rocking the jorts, and he has his tuxedo T-shirt tucked into the jorts, sans belt. That is without a belt, chat. We are in the presence of greatness tonight. Ooh, and you can even see his underwear through the jorts. This is a family stream, Swain.
He does have a few strategically placed holes in the back of these jorts. Yes.
Seriously, holes in my pants.
Hey, Jason, what does this remote do?
It turns on the little playfield that's lit up.
Okay. When I got here today, Jason was very calm and collected. I heard very few curse words coming out of him. He was extremely pleasant to his wife. He was just taking everything very, very smoothly. It was nice to see.
I was not. I will admit, I was not. The pockets do not hang down past the end of the jorts.
No, thankfully.
Yeah, that's Ryan up in Wisconsin. That's a great question, but no, they are knee length, thankfully, for all of us here. He's headed to show me.
Yeah. He was going to head to Queen of Hearts, but sadly that fine establishment got swept away in the flood.
For those of you that don't know, Queen of Hearts was a pasty bar that is in the town near where I live. You want to give it a go? Swain, come over here. Let's.
All right.
I'll
Behold the
play next.
mediocrity that is the Matt Kanan play style.
Yes. You see the tuxedo?
Oh my God! Look at this! Look at this! No belt required, ladies.
Ladies.
I believe these jorts are circa probably pre-2000s, honestly. I think I had these back in high school.
You rock them well.
Thank
You
you.
rock them well.
Thank you. They've
Yep.
held up very well. I have to credit my mom for helping them stay in as good a shape as
Thanks
they
for the
are.
throwback,
Oh,
Magic Man, with
so-
the Magic Man.
Yes, that's a
Total
hell
Recall
of a reference. That is a hell of a reference, right there, man. If I had something to give away, you would get it. That is awesome. So those of you that don't know, Total Recall had a really strange shape, and I always said that it looked like jean shorts.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
nice.
So, all right, I heard this question posed the other day, and it was an interesting topic that got some really heated discussion.
very
I'm going to
good,
pose
chat.
it to you guys. Are you ready? I think it might have been, was it Chris? You might have been the one that asked me this. I do have Cosmic Kart Racing. We also have Cannon Lagoon. So stay tuned. Maybe next time we'll do one of those. Okay, so the question is, you are somehow put on an island, and you have the ability to have one pinball machine. What is it?
Are you posing this to me or the listeners?
I'm posing it to both.
All right.
Swain, what do you got?
Lethal Weapon 3, hands down. I know everyone's going to give me flack for it.
I know
but,
you're a fan of the Lethal Weapon 3.
The game's too much fun. The video mode where you have to shoot the bad guys is absolutely perfect.
Yeah?
The music is great. You got some more 90s in there with Everybody Dance Now by CNC Music Factory. And just for good measure, you've got Sharp Dressed Man. It's hard to not get behind that.
Does the island run electric? Yes. Yes, it does. So, like Albert says, Jurassic Park. So, no classics that you would take before the brand new one, huh?
Oh!
Bugs Bunny Birthday Bash.
Oh! Is that Greaves?
It's got to be Greaves.
Bugs Bunny Birthday Bash. Well, if it doesn't have electric, that would be a wonderful game to have on the island.
Yeah, you know it would, because if you get cold at night, you need a nice big bonfire.
Yes.
And I hear it's got really good burning cabinets.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Mandy, what are you talking about? Twilight Zone? Really?
One of the best machines ever built.
Oh, man. That's rough. That's rough. Hey,
Even Pat Lawler said he didn't like it, didn't he?
yeah.
I think he said the wide bodies don't flow as well. I
That's
don't know-
true. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Which means he didn't
I
like
love
it.
putting words into people's mouth.
Nelly.
Yeah, Dennis is riding a stationary bike for energy. Did you see that, Matt? I love it.
Do what?
Dennis would be riding a stationary bike.
Oh my, Magic Man. Yes, I know exactly what cabinet art you're referring to on Baywatch. It is
Yeah.
good for lonely nights. We'll say that
The
much.
Baywatch
That's a good
cabinet art is not very 2019.
It's
I'd be afraid if I was going to get rescued, the Coast Guard would see that cabinet and think I was a creepy guy on the island
I
on
think
purpose.
they'd rescue because of the cabinet. They would see the ladies and you're like, oh, they need help. They just would not see the rest of the body, so you never know.
Not bad at all.
Zach, classic. You know, if you didn't know, Zach is a big fan of the virtual pins.
Ooh.
He is.
You can play a bunch of machines on them. I suppose you would call them a table. No, maybe call them a screen because that's really they're all is to play on those things.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ugh.
Zach and I have had this discussion before. I think it's they serve their purpose. Like once
Yeah.
you get into real pinball, I think it would be tough to go back, and I think that's where he's at right now. But I think a lot of people that can't spend the kind of money that's required to have multiple machines, which honestly is a majority, are going to have a tough time justifying it. So
Here'd be a good analogy, playing a flight simulator versus flying a real plane. Yeah, I'm sure a flight simulator is all well and good to use when that's all you have, but I'm sure the real thing you can't.
Zach, I was thinking maybe you
substitute.
could change your name to Flipping Out Pinball Tables. He hates that term.
Oh man.
So you know what is not virtual pinball, and a lot of people think is? Lexi. So we haven't talked about it.
May I jump in here on 1 minute?
Yeah.
That actually was my first game I've ever played on the P3. That's
You did not get one warm-up game, nothing.
No, I've never touched that type of
You
machine in
got
my
here
entire life.
right before we started.
Yeah, well, even when Kanan went to turn the volume on for me, I'm like, I don't even want to open this thing up because I do not know what's in it, let alone know how to operate it. But I'm impressed. It's obviously plays really slick. The shots are good. And just in case you don't know what to do, on the playfield, you can see on the right hand, it lights up the arrows on the screen for you to see what to
and
go
that's
for.
one thing I wanted to talk about is one of the best parts about it, and I think what makes it approachable by the casual player, and even me, and I don't consider myself a casual player, is the fact that all the shots are so well labeled. They are interactive and they pop up with a big fat arrow, so it's really, really hard to miss.
Well, in addition to just the arrow, it actually tells you what it's going to do when you aim for it.
Yeah.
A lot of the games, no matter how well they're lit, even if an arrow is blinking, you go by the old adage, shoot for the flashing light, but in this case, you actually know what to do. Or even where to shoot if you want to, I just saw, assemble a weapon or collect a part for it.
Right.
That's pretty neat.
So did you find a favorite mode yet?
I had no
one.
idea
It's
what I
not
was
even
doing
close.
on it yet.
So you can actually, I should have explained this. So you can change the modes with the yellow buttons. There's 3 buttons on the P3 in this particular configuration. And when you step up or anytime during gameplay, you can change modes with the yellow buttons that are on the bottom. So the white buttons, which a lot of people don't use and it takes a while to get used to, actually cycle your lanes. Now you can disable that feature to cycle the lanes with the flippers, but it is something that I'm trying to get used to and I've left on.
It gives you that much more control to where you can flip as much as you need
It does,
to, but everything
and I
stays
will tell you
put.
this, once you get used to it on other games, I found myself trying to cycle flipper or the lanes with buttons that aren't there.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's an interesting little quirk. And so my favorite mode is the shooting range. And this one uses the scoops, the interactive scoops that are RGB lit. Very cool feature. My son, this is his favorite mode.
Now, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
It's my understanding that the lower part of the playfield stays with the machine, but the upper part is the removable module to
That's
change
correct.
the game. Are those scoops, does that stay with the...
Yes. So the actual modular playfield starts just behind the scoops.
I wasn't sure if that was part
Yeah.
of it. Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell where the break was. on
It does. Yeah.
It's honestly, I gotta say, pretty seamless. You can't really tell that it's a
There
bolt-on
isn't,
part.
and we every once in a great while, if a ball is traveling horizontally, it will hang on those scoops, but the ball search feature saves it.
Okay.
So it does get it. I think I've had it 3 times, and maybe, I don't know, I've played probably a couple hundred games on it by now, and yeah, it is a very unique machine that I know everybody kind of like says, oh, it's expensive, but if you consider its modularity and its ability to be multiple machines in one, it actually becomes a really compelling pricing option. So I'm enjoying it.
Do they have a different module yet for the upper playfield, or is that in development
Yeah, there's actually
still,
2. There's Cannon Lagoon, there is Cosmic Kart Racing, and there's this one, which is Lexi. So with those different modules, you can play individual games within that.
Gotcha.
So we actually have the other 2. They're in the spare bedroom.
Oh, no.
So we will try those as well. And Cosmic Kart Racing, you got to check it out. It's got magnets that actually assist the ball up and can stop it on the ramps. It's really cool. So
I was going to joke to ask if one of those flipper buttons was the mag grab, but looks like one of them might be.
well, one of the things we're going to try to do, hey, Berto, how you doing, bud? So one of the things we're going to try to do on this stream is play some games that are off the beaten path a little bit, and I consider P3 to be one of them. So high score on this particular machine is 13 million. Matt, I think, has got one up at like 7. Is that where you're at?
7 what?
8?
What?
You're high on this machine?
Yeah. Yeah, about 7
Okay.
is what I've gotten. I'm not nearly as good as Jason.
Even after
Whatever.
the game, you can
hasn't played
cycle
enough.
through and you can see it on the screen, which shows on here,
Yeah.
and it'll show you what the buttons do and
Yeah.
everything, as well as the scores.
So the LCD back glass that you see in the bottom center actually changes depending on the mode too. It's really cool. It gives some of the information on the mode, changes the back glass. Like right now, it shows that for that part assembly.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, those of you that haven't spent much time on this, one of the interesting quirks about it is, you know, the flippers actually float above the playfield. And you know what a post pass is, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows what a post pass is. You can actually do a post pass off the in lanes.
Really?
Yeah, so the reason that is because you've got, I don't know, what is it, 48 volts traveling through a floating assembly that is so strong, it actually like bounces just enough on the in lane that it will send the ball to the other side. And once you get used to that, you can actually use it to your advantage.
Okay.
It's pretty neat. Yeah, it's one of the quirks of the machine.
So it's neat. I can see the flipper linkages. I'm assuming the mechs are down under the apron,
Yeah.
as well as the slingshot linkages too. Those are the 4 little lines. you
So
see on the bottom.
that whole assembly slides out of the front, and you can take it to your workbench table to work on anything, change rubbers,
So
change
it's
coils.
literally just another
I'll show
layer
you.
over
it
the
takes,
plate.
It takes 10 seconds. Yeah, it's
Okay.
crazy. You unplug one connector, and the whole thing slides out.
Okay. It's kind of nice not having to flip your head under
Yeah.
the hood like the old machines.
Yep. So anybody that just came in, we were asking about. So the retail cost of this P3 setup is you get the machine and one module of your choosing. Now, I think most people go the Lexi route just because that's the one that kind of appeals to most. For I think it's $99.99, and then there is show specials that are run from time to time. I know Zach at Flippin' Out Pinball will offer show specials where they'll knock actually $1,000 off. I know sometimes that's not the case. They don't do that much, but it's something that can save you a few dollars. And then the actual modules are not the cost of full-scale pinball machines. They're much cheaper. So you're looking at, I think, $1,500 for Cannon Lagoon, and then $2,500 or so. So the LCD display, I believe, is an $800 option. So that's one other thing that if you want to add it, which it's not absolutely necessary, you can. I'm going to let you guys talk, and I'm going to play some pinball.
Fair enough. I was gonna flip. It shows you somewhere going through hitting the flipper buttons. It shows on the playfield itself what the actual buttons do. It's pretty neat, really.
Yeah,
I wasn't paying attention.
I did and failed immediately. So show everyone how it's done.
I'll try. All right, so you can select your mode before you start. There's our shooting range. It's got to be shooting with an N.
Shooting. It's like going nuts.
Yeah.
Shooting range.
So you start the modes with the right scoop. Obviously, it says start mode. So it's semi-automatic flipper, so you cannot hold them. It disables hold, and you're shooting for the center area.
It's time for a mutiny.
That is not how you want to do it. So the mode's over.
So
Berto, I don't think Jason would like that kind of button. It would remind him of his childhood too much. Back when the steam engines were rampant and rotary phones were the new hit thing.
You're lucky the machine's so loud I can't hear what you're saying, but I know it's not good.
It's not good. Jason's old. Look at his beard. It's so great.
With age comes very nice pinball machines, though. I'm looking
That's true.
forward
He
to
has
it.
a lot better machines than I do.
Yes,
And a
same
lot
here.
more.
Well, I have more pinball machines than he does, though.
Yeah.
I proudly count Millionaire along that roster.
Millionaire.
In fact,
I love millionaires.
I am going to start my own podcast, and it will be
So
games
in
like
this mode, you'll
Millionaire,
see the-
Secret Service. It'll be on.
Oh, of course, Pod is in the chat.
You see
The camera
LCD
really
screen
does
views.
add 10 pounds, apparently. It adds hair loss, too.
Not cool.
Mods, can we get a ban on
Not
Glumpy 2144? Do we have mods?
I want a hat, damn it. Darn it. I should have gotten a hat. Could have brought my Warenberg Truckers hat.
Coulda but didn't. So what were we talking about when I was up there playing and couldn't hear anything? Something about an island?
Yes, if you were to be stuck on an island, assuming you have electricity, what pinball machine would you like to be stuck with?
Probably a wide body so I could fashion a boat out of it.
No. Zach already mentioned that, and that was with a virtual pin. So
Virtual?
No, that's why
Zach, you want a virtual pin?
to make a boat out of it. That's why he would want a virtual pin to make a
okay.
boat out of it. I mean, why would you waste a pinball machine to make a boat out of it?
Oh,
To
Glumpy,
play, to
Glumpy,
play.
that's for my F-14. Okay, so Glumpy is the individual whose F-14 I lovingly re-LED'd for him before it got transferred back to him.
It was clown puked absolutely
It was
beautifully.
it was the pinnacle of LED craftsmanship.
Oh, it was a lot of clown
Yeah.
barf. Big time.
It,
Big time.
It looked like a unicorn took a dookie on it.
Feel like we forgot something.
Oh,
Yes. Yes, Mandy, the beautiful, lovingly updated F-14. And then Pod comes in here and says that mean comment about Swain's weight and his hair loss. I can't believe that.
wow. This
Get
is
it?
not what I signed up for.
Get it?
This is not what I
Because he's
signed
talking
up
about
for.
your hair loss but my weight.
Oh, yeah. No, that's why I need my hat. Oh, shoot.
Oh, Lordy.
Grab a powder. Put a hat on.
Jason, how you doing out there?
I'm not setting any high scores, I'll tell you that much.
I don't know, you got 360 points.
So, Jason, is that lower playfield camera angle something kind of new you're trying out?
Actually, Bo and Karen's did
Okay.
it really well, and I always appreciated it. So I wanted to. Oh, God.
Yeah, so we lovingly ripped it off.
We copied him basically.
Okay.
I think you were even on the horn with him about what kind of mount he used, right?
Yeah, he actually uses a stand.
Really?
That sits in front of him.
So it doesn't shake when you shake the machine.
Right. Does it shake bad?
I don't know. Put that steady shot on there. You'll be fine. No, it doesn't. I was just giving me a flack.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I think you're supposed to actually disable it, so I did. So one
Yeah,
thing
Berto,
about
that's what
Lexi
the,
is it is a sniper game.
That was
It's
the
like
point.
everything is so
I
far
wanted
off
his
the
retinas to
playfield
die.
that it really tests your accuracy, which mine is horrible.
Yeah, it does. No, that being said,
backhand this
we
one.
were able to store and play that
hit it.
game for at least 2, maybe 3 years, that
Yeah.
F-14 Tomcat. It was a lot of fun to have in your basement. And then, well, he finally got a place that he was going to stay at for a while, so
Yeah, poor Pod had to move to a city where the cost per square foot is more than a pinball machine, so he couldn't bring a bunch of his games with him. So the good friend that I am, I offered to foster some of his games
yes.
for him because
You're a
I'm
very
just
good
I'm
friend.
just that good of a
You
friend.
foster some of my games too. You're a wonderful friend. But anyway, he finally got a place where he could store the machines. And we kind of gave him a little parting gift with some extra LEDs in it. It was quite nice. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, Zach, the P3 compared to the rest of Jason's lineup is nearly unshakable. If you breathe on his TNA, it tilts. If you
look at that game the wrong way,
yeah,
it tilts.
if you look at his TNA, it tilts. If what was the other one?
Oh, shoot. I don't think it was Deadpool, was it?
Oh, his
I
ACDC.
don't
If
know,
you
Zach,
play
I
it,
just
it
shook
tilts.
pretty good. I got
So
tilt
don't do
warnings.
that. And I swear to God, I tilt machines more here than I do anywhere else. I don't know if he like keeps the leg bolts loose or what.
So the reason I go for that left orbit so much is it's the playfield multiplier. I missed that. Hurry up.
Chat, he's up there just playing. He doesn't know we're talking about him.
No, I mean, is it as nearly as bad as those Pinball 2000s with that CR2 T monitor?
The P3 weighs more than anything else.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's saying something, because...
I mean, what if we open up the play field, I mean, it's like solid, like there's no space inside the kit's just with all the mechanics and the screen down there.
Wow, it sounds like Wizard of Oz has been dethroned for a heavy machine. It's sitting right next to it. That's
Thank you,
crazy.
Spicy Taco Muncher. It is 330 pounds.
Yowza.
I'm pretty sure that's heavier than The Hobbit.
Yeah.
The Hobbit was the heaviest game I'd ever
really?
picked up.
Okay.
Well, scratch that. The Hobbit was the heaviest game that I had Zach and Swain pick up for me.
Thanks. Yeah, you're out of town for that one. Yeah, that thing weighs about as much as a cast iron bathtub. Don't ask me how I know this fact.
Zach, yes, it is an engineering marvel. Just looking at the mechanics underneath there, I mean, it's it's really innovative design. It's an innovative concept. I mean, it's a great game that gets not enough credit. So I'm glad we're able to share it with you guys.
Now, what's this LCD that they said was optional? Is the LCD in the back glass
The back
an
glass.
option?
Traditionally, you can just get like a normal back glass.
Right.
Whereas the LCD upgrade, you can have like the score and junk up there, which is what's being displayed in the bottom middle portion of the stream.
Oh, man.
Oh, Hobbit allegedly weighs 351 pounds.
The king has not been
Oh,
dethroned.
no. We'll have to, I don't know, leave a dime bag inside of the P3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be rethroned as the king.
Yeah. That shows just how quote unquote cool I am, where I think a dime bag weighs a pound.
It weighs a dime.
Oh yeah. Okay. This stream is already going off the rails.
It's okay. Well, that's because Jason left us for a little bit. So, let's do our own devices now. We can have some fun.
The inmates are running the asylum.
I know, right? Not at all.
No.
Okay, I think it's Limerick time. There once was a man from... No, never mind. Oh, he's back. How you doing, friend?
Nantucket?
Yeah, that's the
I
location.
once knew a man from Nantucket.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
How was
let's
it?
just say the stories about him were greatly exaggerated.
Oh, gotcha. I was hoping he had more pinball machines, but...
You guys need something to drink. Is everybody beer fans out there?
Bathroom break.
Which one of these is mine, Kanan? I don't want to get your cooties.
His is probably the empty one. Really empty one.
Yours is the one with the lipstick.
Jeez, that's harsh.
Oh, man.
All right, lip fungus it is.
So, yeah. I enjoy listening to your pinball podcast. I do heating and cooling, so I'm usually outside sweating my tail off installing air conditioners. And
Getting to parlay that into some pinball.
Yeah, just kind of to help pass the time and make my life a little less miserable when it's 90 degrees outside and 70% humidity.
I appreciate it.
Oh no, I appreciate it. I also got the biggest kick out of Kanan over here getting found out that he doesn't even listen to his own pinball podcast. I listened to when you were playing the quiz game with Zach.
So Kanan is very sensitive to the way he sounds.
Yes.
He says he thinks his voice is annoying, and I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you after seeing myself on the camera, I don't think I'm going to be watching this Twitch afterwards. I don't think I have a voice for radio or a face for streaming.
You're fine.
Shoot.
Appreciate you coming over to join us on late notice.
Oh, happy to do it, without a doubt.
I'd be sitting here by myself if that wasn't the case.
No, you're like the rich kid with all the cool toys. Of course you're going to have like the low...
I'm not rich. I've just got screwed up priorities, that's all.
That's good. That's a good thing to have. All right, so
Let's get another pinball quandary.
let me think here.
Hot button question.
I was going to go for a bit of trivia, quite honestly.
All right,
I'm trying to think. I know the answer. This is why I'm asking the question.
get on top of that.
So, you've got music-themed pinball machines. So, yes, you could say a music-themed pinball machine has the most of a particular artist on a game. Can you name an artist that has the most songs represented across different machines? I have one in mind, but maybe some of our listeners can come up with a few different ones. So, one artist on different machines.
The answer is Celine Dion.
Celine Dion. I'm going to say, yeah.
There you go. You nailed it.
Yeah, I was going to say that because, A, I know you are so hyper-focused on Lethal Weapon 3 that
There's your
anything
hint.
associated with it, you would. And it was in what else? Getaway?
High Speed 2 Getaway. Yeah, with their
Courtney Love was actually a close second, Albert.
really.
No, I'm kidding.
You got a bridge for me to buy too. I mean, I'm interested.
Does any have AC/DC songs besides AC/DC? Because honestly, I think AC/DC is one of the most difficult licenses to get as far as music goes. And I can personally attest, I actually made a car club video that had a 5-second AC/DC song in it that I put on YouTube. It got pulled in 24 hours.
Really?
Yes. They actually made the entire video silent, and I was so lazy I didn't go back in and do anything.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're brutal, and so is Black Sabbath.
Okay.
Is the other one. Yep.
The Getaway plays LaGrange the whole game. That the whole theme song is ZZ Top. It's
I
LaGrange
love
the
that game,
instrumental.
but that song will wear on you after a while.
I've never gotten tired of it,
Really?
even
That's
after I
good.
put my first quarters in that machine. But the last ZZ Top song is on Back to the Future, Double Back, when you hit the jackpot during the multi-ball. But I can't think of any other games. That was the only one I could really think of for good trivia. I'm trying to think here.
No, that's the sum total of Swain's knowledge.
Shoot. Well, I'll start digging. I'll pull out a file. Give me a sec.
Oh boy. That's full of useless information. Albert, did you do a 12-hour live stream of Getaway? That's brutal.
Dust out the old camcorder. We'll make this happen. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do. I told you. I'm gonna do that podcast or streaming with just the worst games no one wants to see. I'll stream Millionaire, Secret Service. You guys were talking about that. I think there's a market for it. I really do.
Yeah, that's true.
We need that weapon.
I like seeing those games. That's why I like your collection, is they're different.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I know you like your games in top tier shape because they're all immaculate, but my games have really been run ragged and hung
You
out
know
wet.
your way around the mechanics of the machine, though. You
They
keep
play.
them up and running.
They play.
Yeah.
I just don't do the artwork.
Aesthetics are
Yeah.
whatever.
Party Animal. Now that was quite a game.
All right, Spicy Taco.
Oh,
He says,
Zach.
here is a fun question to ponder. Which celebrity has made the most appearances on various pinball machines? All right,
that's a
let's
good one.
stew on it for a second.
I'm thinking there's gonna be they have to be licensed themes, I would assume.
So just off the top of my head, how about Arnold? Arnold Schwarzenegger was on at least T2 and T3.
And Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero.
Don't forget the Jort game.
Of any other, I'm not thinking even Bally Williams machines. I'm trying to think their license. They had Johnny Mnemonic, but I mean,
Bill Paxton. He says he was on Twister and Apollo 13.
okay, there's two.
Oh, yeah, Paxton. I don't know. Do you know the answer, Spicy? Does anybody else have any guesses before he throws it in there? Oh, Harrison Ford's a good one.
Yeah, he's on 2 Star Wars Indy. No, we have no idea. That was just a good question
Yeah.
to come up with. Ooh. Zach offered me a Ghostbusters Premium. That's me.
Oh, he lets us down. He doesn't know the answer. It's all right. That's a good question, though.
Mel Gibson's on 2 machines as well.
He's
Lethal
on
Weapon
2.
3 and Maverick.
Yeah.
I think, shoot. That's a good puzzler.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I know I'm going to start staring at the machines.
I don't really have any with anybody on them.
No, that's my best guess.
The Hobbit, all those guys, like, Oh, what's the old guy's name? He was on a lot of stuff.
The Wizard. Ian McKellen.
Bill Cosby. Was Bill Cosby on a pinball machine? I don't think he was.
No, I don't know any Bill Cosby machines. I think it's a little late for a Cosby revival
Too
for some
soon.
funny reason.
Yeah, too
just
soon.
a little bit.
The Jello machine.
A Forrest Gump, yes, I would have to get a Forrest Gump machine. That'd be pretty darn awesome.
That would be cool.
The
That gets
modes would
thrown
be
around
hysterical.
here. And there. Yeah. All right. What's some other cool themes? Favorite theme that has not been done? Swing, go.
The most glaring missing one, the Goonies. Major
Goonies.
80s theme. A lot of 80s themes. that have been done.
chunk.
I know, right? Shoot, you got to get the boat. That'd be like the ultimate thing, get the boat released.
Lord Helmet says puddin' pops. It's got to be you can't say pudding. It's got to be puddin'.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Harry Potter would be pretty darn neat, but how do you cram the whole Harry Potter series?
So I have a confession to make. I don't watch a lot of TV. I have never seen Stranger Things.
Me either.
You haven't?
Nope, not one bit.
Kanan, have you seen Stranger Things?
Yeah, it's amazing.
All right.
I just have
Kanan
a-
I think
stays
it
up
would
on
make
all
a
that
good
stuff.
pinball machine.
Futurama would be phenomenal.
Futurama, I would
Flip out.
literally give Swain's kidneys for a Futurama game.
Thank you for the kidneys. I'm glad I get to keep everything else, bud.
Albert. Ouch. I know, I'm sorry, man. I just don't watch TV. You know, the last show I've watched consistently was Game of Thrones, and the one before that was probably, it was bad. I have no idea.
Magic
It's been
Man,
so
Witch
long.
Robin Hood,
Beverly
Errol
Hills
Flynn,
90210.
or Kevin Costner,
Criminy.
or Carrie Ellis.
That's Kanan's favorite.
No, I don't know. To go off topic, I just I'm having difficulty with the paradigm shift of like Netflix creating their own shows, Amazon creating their own shows. I kind of like the traditional setup, and
better
it's just
get used to it.
I know it's changing. I'm just still not into
The
it. yet.
fact that this is our first night and there's 22 people watching tells everything you need to know. And thank you for everyone that's here. Like, I had very modest expectations for our first show, our first stream, and I appreciate all of you guys that are hanging out with us. So, honestly, cable TV and direct TV and all those satellite ones are dying
Yeah.
a slow death because now you can do stuff like this and YouTube. My son doesn't watch TV. Not at all.
Yeah.
He wants to watch YouTube because it can cater to whatever niche thing he's into. If he wants to watch Fortnite videos for 10 hours, by God, he can do it. You
Yep.
know?
I have a helper. He's in high school right now, and he doesn't watch much TV at all. He mostly watches stuff streaming, which to me is just like it's just crazy how things have changed that much. In
What's
20 years.
what's on that's good right now besides Stranger Things? Anybody?
The Boys.
The Boys?
It's an Amazon show.
Really? What's it about?
Amazing.
What's it about?
Yeah, I was
He's yelling
trying to
'cause he's
figure out
pouring
how to
beer.
get Twitch on my phone to boost the numbers, but I'm struggling with it, so now I'm just here.
Curb Your Enthusiasm is awesome. That is like Seinfeld 2. I love
Really?
that show. Yeah.
Curb Your Enthusiasm is great.
Yep. It is a good one.
The Boys is an Amazon original. It's based off a graphic novel. It's like superheroes, but they're everyday jackasses.
Oh, yeah?
Like they're more like pro athletes,
Okay.
where like they get, signed to contracts and whatnot.
Oh, so they're kind of salty like Will Smith in that one movie?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. What
Only a
movie
lot
was
more
that?
graphic.
Okay. All right. Well, that
So,
sounds
so it's a
fun.
big,
I'll check
it's a
out.
grown-up show.
I'm going to play some pinball.
Pinball.
Good. Do it. Good man. I don't see any cup holders in that machine yet.
He doesn't believe in cup holders on his machine.
Cup holders because I have tables.
Yeah, but now your table's full of now your
Yeah.
table's full of
Exact- yeah,
streaming
pinball machine
stuff. It
tables.
looks like NASA mission control here.
Okay, so you've heard the.
Oh, no
Kind of-
spoilers on this show. That's a good way to get the boot.
Oh, what?
Don't give any spoilers.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Lord Helmet's like, we're watching it, so please don't spoil it.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
Keep it
My question
vague.
for you, Hotshot. Do you have an issue with pinball machines? Not the machine itself, but the layout of the playfield called a table. I've heard so many people get bent out of shape.
Zach
with
was talking about it.
And
He hates
I don't
it.
see much of an
Yeah.
issue with it. You can say something, it is a good table. It's a good layout. I wouldn't call the whole machine a table, but
Honestly, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I wouldn't. I don't think I've ever used that term. I always call them machines
That was awful.
yeah, fair enough. All right.
or pinballs or swing magnets.
There you go. No, it's the shirt. That's all I gotta say. I think Dumb and Dumber could be a good theme. I mean, you have to have comedy in pinball. You have to have like witty comments, witty remarks.
I don't know. Like
The problem
honestly,
is-
I love the movie, but just everything they've done with Dumb and Dumber since the original movie.
Yeah, those don't count.
Well, yeah,
You
they
pay
don't
attention
count
to 'em.
because they're awful. So I can only imagine that they would somehow screw up the pinball machine.
We got him.
Oh dear. Yeah, I actually hosted a friend from Ireland over at my house for a little bit to play pinball, and he called the flippers paddles, and I really didn't feel I was in a position to correct him on that one, being that he was kind of a guest at the house.
Berto, I 100% agree with you. Bill and Ted would be. Aren't they making a new one? A new movie?
Yeah, that's gonna be awful.
Uh-oh.
That is
With Mr. Bill S. Preston and Theodore Logan.
really?
desperation.
Yeah. Who's
Out
gonna
of
be?
control.
Who's gonna take over Carlin's spot? You have to have a guy like that.
Clones. They're going to clone Carlin. We have
Do you
the
know
technology.
Do you know how ticked off he would be if he woke up and found out he was a clone? Oh my gosh. He'd have material forever.
Like what, Swain? Don't.
Oh,
Don't try. Don't try.
stop it. I mean, if you've watched any of his stand-up comedy on YouTube,
So chat,
yes.
what's your dream theme? Tell me the dream theme where you would drop any amount of money to play this game. Go. I already told you that I would give all of Swain's kidneys for a Futurama.
It's a Halo. Van Halen, shoot, I think they made that game. I thought it was called Heavy Metal Meltdown. Did you see the people on the back glass? I mean,
Oh, Jesus.
Archer would have been a
Hacienda.
phenomenal theme. I could not name one Iron Maiden song if you put a gun to my head. I've got
Well, I
the-
bet you could since you're in the room with the Iron Maiden machine.
did
I'm
they-
sorry, an Iron Maiden table.
Thank you. Did they come out with a song called Legacy of the Beast? Was that one of their songs?
I have no idea.
Okay, just
I
wondering.
I am right there with you. I mean, I don't dislike Iron Maiden, but I wouldn't be able to pick them out of a lineup.
That's the one
but
thing-
yeah, Archer would have been amazing.
That's where themes truly can be a double-edged sword. If you like something, you're going to go gunning for it immediately, regardless of the playfield layout. And I got to say, the Iron Maiden's table is laid out well. But
Return of the Creasel, Gottlieb Uprising. Zach, explain yourself.
Ooh. Oh, here's a little bit of pinball news. Apparently, Gottlieb had a prototype machine. It was a cocktail machine.
Give me that back.
And it was dueling basketballs. So basically, you split the playfield in half, and you tilt them in opposite directions, and you had two flippers, and you were shooting at the basketball hoop, basically like what was it? The Shack Attack. Very similar.
Shack
Yeah,
Attack.
it's got a Shack Attack hoop in it,
Oh.
and it was a dueling machine, and it was a cocktail game.
So it's kind of a mix between Shack Attack, NBA,
that's Strikes and
and
Spares, kind
Joust.
Precisely.
Here's flipping out. Here's a little bit of pinball news.
Neat.
Gottlieb.
Well, you brought up Gottlieb. Oh, you're killing me. But
This just in, pinballs have flippers now.
Paddles.
Paddles. I'm sorry. Pinball tables have paddles now.
Hurry up.
Oh my goodness. I still think Archer would be great. I mean, I wouldn't see any sin in reskinning an Iron Maiden. That was the original inspiration to begin with.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if someone rethemed, like a homebrew, rethemed an Iron Maiden to an Archer?
I mean, if Stern bought the IP, they already got the factory. It's new artwork, new sounds, new animation. Boom, done. Oh dear.
Oh, we can't. I mean, I love Swain deeply, but he cannot live up to Creasel. And we can't live up to Twip. Right, Jason?
What?
Someone's comparing us to Twip somehow.
Twip. This week in pinball? I'll
Yes.
take that all day, every day.
What's a Creasel?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, Paddle, Bolt, Torch, new segment.
I mean, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't. Focus on
I'd
news
paddle
like they do.
Swain,
Nobody does
bolt
news
myself,
like
and torch Jason.
Oh my goodness.
Does that count?
Now we're keeping this rated G, correct?
Yeah, this is as G as I get.
Fair enough. Okay. No, we can definitely take it down a notch, but no big deal.
Jason, what's going on?
Score 9.
But
Ooh, what'd you get?
Single ball bonus.
Aw, I
Fourth
had
place.
that. He took it
If
from
you look
me.
on the screen right now where it says congratulations, it does illustrate the cabinet buttons, which is pretty neat, honestly. I was impressed when I saw that. I also like how it illustrates the start and the plunge button.
I can't think that's the fourth best score, but I guess it knows.
Swain, do you want to play?
Let's do it.
Go do it.
You guys could play 2-player if you want.
Yeah, let's do it. Swain, start 2 players.
Even to all of himself so we can talk.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah, so we can talk about us. Jason, our new segment's going to be Paddle, Bolt, Torch.
Okay, explain.
Well, paddles instead of flippers. Apparently,
The tables, the paddles.
Oh
the stuff
yeah,
to do the
yeah. Was that one of the things that Zach hated? I think it was.
A lot of people hate the table and paddles. Paddles even gets me the wrong way.
How much do you like your co-host?
3.
On a scale of 2?
Yeah,
so
sure.
you'll be happy to hand me my beer over there? I'm afraid I'll fall. Just because there's so many wires. Don't lick my glass. Oh, nasty.
Oops.
Oh, there's Rodden. Rorden.
What's it like in the future, Orden? Tell us the secrets. Oh, look at this. Jason's lowering my levels.
No, it's all right. I just don't want you peeking. Thanks for joining us, Rorden. Appreciate it. 70 degrees. You know, it was a nice day here today. Did you notice how it wasn't hot?
Yeah.
Yeah. No joke. I actually went to a funeral this morning.
No joke. I went to a funeral. Ain't that a kicker?
I did. Extended family member. Pay my respects.
Yeah, you seem very respectful.
I
I
am.
want to go back and get those parts.
Okay, help me out. Am I supposed to? Oh wow, you actually roll over the parts you're supposed to get, huh?
Yeah, so in this mode,
I was just shooting the doors.
you can actually roll over the crates on the screen with the ball, and it interacts and destroys the crates, and then you can.
Seriously, I've never seen that before. That's. Oh, that's nuts. The whole time I was just
Well,
shooting.
why are you acting like he should have known that?
I mean, that's like its calling card.
This is the first time he's played one. I didn't know it.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you did.
No clue. No.
Now you know.
Now I know.
Knowing's half the
and
battle,
knowing is half the
G.I.
battle.
Joe.
The other half is red and blue lasers.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can see the alien and the light, but I didn't realize on the. I'm not
Well,
even.
they all had
looking
red
at
and blue
the,
lasers.
I'm not even
suppose
looking
they
at the
do.
table.
Who was the good guys? Were they blue or red?
I don't know.
What color were the good guys' lasers in Star Wars? Does anybody know?
On Data East.
We're talking.
On the Data East.
Knowing
pinball
is
machine?
knowing is half the battle is G.I. Joe, not Star Wars.
Everybody gets this wrong.
In the good guys in
What color were the lasers the good guys had in Star Wars?
green.
Was it green or red? I don't know. I'm asking a question I don't know the answer to.
Oh yeah, everyone gets this wrong. I'm so smart. Everyone gets this wrong. Okay, give me a hint. I need a hint. I need a lifeline.
Keep playing. That ball's coming back.
I want you to tell me the answer so I look smart.
It didn't work because I think it's actually red. I think it's backwards to what you think. I don't know. I'll need to watch it tonight.
If only we had a Star Wars home pin, we'd be able to see.
Yeah, Zach. I think we might need to do that. We'll play it for a little bit and then we'll give it to Cardinal Glennon. That would be awesome. Actually, we probably should just give it to Cardinal Glennon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Here you go, kids. Here's a used game. Enjoy it. I broke it a little. Don't worry about it.
I just realized I set this up for a 2-player game, and I'm playing both players. So please disregard this for those of you who are watching.
Can you believe this guy?
No.
I remember my first time playing pinball.
Hey, excuse you, sir. At my first tournament, I got so antsy, I forgot to hit the start button, so I was just playing like my game by myself because I already pulled ball number 2. It's this etiquette thing you have to learn, you know? I'm going to still play your ball, by the way.
Rorden, when it's middle of winter, what kind of temperatures are you seeing?
What part of Australia are you in?
Gas for the ship.
Like I'd know anything.
We got dogs on the scene. Sorry.
Uh-oh. Everyone, Pepper is in the house.
She's sniffing Swain's leg and it's tickling him.
Yeah.
1 hour
Now
north of
she's lifting
Sydney.
her leg.
Oh my, Jason, I didn't realize I was such a special guest, buddy. This is kind of nice.
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know where I am, Rorden. I'm sorry.
No. You're going to Chicago, right? Yeah, my actually, that's Dennis. Dennis, it's actually all my Ataris are just out of frame. They're on this side. This is all Ataris from about here down, and then on the other side are all Gottliebs. And then I've even got a few of the what is the Italian company?
Zachariah.
That's what I said.
Why are you talking like Zachariahs are bad?
I'm not. I actually would love to have a Zachariah.
Zachariahs are fun.
Yeah.
Man, Clay
Valhalla.
up in Brighton near Ann Arbor when he does the VFW show.
Yeah.
He's got a whole annex full of Zachariahs. I think he has every Zachariah.
There's every bit of 20 Zachariah machines.
Yeah,
there,
and
every
they're-
bit of.
They're so much fun. They're just so unique.
No such thing.
It's something I've never seen anywhere else in the
So
world.
I haven't played but 2 in real life. And I will tell you,
Oh man, shots fired, Zach.
have you yeah, tell me about it. I ordered a topper from this bum a long time ago. I still haven't gotten it. Love ya. So I played 2 Zacharias, and have you noticed how the geometry of the flippers, like the slingshots are pushed really far in? It's really weird.
Yeah,
The
They're-
geometry is totally different from standard American games that we're used to, and Japanese.
yeah, they're fun.
Rorden, yes, it is Fort Fowler. We have a flag outside and cannons.
Yeah. That flag has been banned in how many states?
It's a standard American flag, thank you. I don't think it's banned in any states.
Well, all right.
Yeah, it is my basement. Stop it. Yep. The stream schedule is going to be, we're going to shoot for Thursdays. It's going to be a regular Thursday thing. Yeah, Texas doesn't have basements either, I don't think. We're going to shoot for Thursdays, guys. 7:30 standard. Mandy.
Good point, Mandy. Jason is not cool enough to have a pinball machine in his living room like some people.
Won't allow it, or I would.
Don't look at me. Someone else, chat said it.
Spicy, thanks for joining us. Does anybody have any questions about the P3? Spicy is your guy. He actually works for Multimorphic. He knows his stuff. He's the one in a lot of the tutorial videos. It is different, Rorden, in a good way. We are back. Can you guys, I don't know what's going on. I apologize for the difficulties. We'll try to, good.
Yay! You're not allowed to do
Yeah,
this
I know. Sorry. There's a lot of things I can do, but internet is not one of them. And usually I was telling these guys, we don't have the fastest internet, but it is adequate for what we're trying to do, and it is usually pretty stable. So I think we're at 55 down and 12 up. But yeah, it's frustrating. Sorry about that. Rorden. So are you going to Chicago? You are, right?
Thank you all for hanging in there with us.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We're happy to come back and see that we still have you here.
Well, that might be a sign we probably ought to shut things down anyway. It's been, I think we're about an hour and a half or so.
All right, let's play one more game.
Okay, let's do it.
Do we want to do a 3-player game?
Yeah, we'll do one more 3-player game.
All right.
On Lexi, and
I'll handle it this time so Swain doesn't screw it up.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, that button pushing gets tough. I'll be player 2.
So can I wear one of these for a nose?
You can.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'll give you a red one so you look like Bozo.
Yeah,
I have some other colors too. Yeah, I don't have the after hours call-in show, Dennis. I'm sorry. I will tell you though, I had a really cool intro video that actually had a particular picture of you with a particular shirt worn by a friend of mine named Chris that was going to flash up there for like a split second, almost like a subliminal message. And I couldn't get the video to go. I know. I thought it was probably better that way. I love the ellipses. That's awesome. That's him just not pleased. It was karma. See, it didn't work.
You know, it was kind of funny we had this little issue because I actually did call my internet service provider, which happens to be AT&T, about when my contract is up and when I can cancel. I'm sorry if it followed me to the show.
I'm the same way.
Just before I left.
Yep.
So I think they came back to get you.
So I want a couple of quick thank yous. Thank you to Dennis. Yeah, dude, your shirt is going to be nationwide. You probably just sold like 20 of those. So a big thank you to Dennis, who was kind enough to send me a webcam. Really appreciate it. It's actually being put to use right now. Thank you for that. He did that in lieu of flowers when I was in the hospital. So very kind. Chuck Wirt, I don't think Chuck's here anymore, but Chuck is a absolute expert at streaming, and he had gave me a very detailed list. Just that.
Any more thank yous?
So he was instrumental in getting everything that you see up and running, and I hope the stream looks good. I tried my best. So we're gonna try to get the delay taken care of on the webcam if we can. I know there's an audio delay there, but I'm pretty happy with how everything looks otherwise. Hey, Kanan's doing all right.
Yes, he is. So, Grumpy is the fine gentleman that I sold my class of 1812 to.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so that is now happily down in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so I hope he's enjoying it.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Warning you, there are still some Asians out there.
I do apologize. One of your buddies was interested in that game, but it was already betrothed.
Yeah, it's Ken
to
up at
Grumpy.
Special and Lit. He's been trying to get that for a while.
Well, hey, if Grumpy ever gets tired of it, maybe one day I'll make a trip to bring a machine down.
I think he's still looking.
I think Mandy G was a little tired of Class of 1812 in the living room, so it got replaced with Wizard of Oz now in the living room.
Fun game, but maybe slightly shallow.
Just a little bit. I think it was the clucking chicken that really
That'll
got
do
under Mandy G's skin.
Yeah,
I think
that'll
just
do
a
it.
little bit. I mean, it had some pretty sick rapping in it, you know.
Rapping?
My name is Umbi and I'm your horse. Host. Revive my friends to score the
Oh,
most.
I didn't know that.
That's it.
Yeah, that's... The chicken is brutal.
Oh, yes.
Mandy loves the chicken.
Oh, man.
So this is what Kanan does. Now he's blowing it up. So on Lights Out Multi-Ball, you want to try to get to the pop bumpers because it is like you can blow it up. Yeah, that's what he does. Dennis, he has got, I don't know, probably a fourth of my GCs. It's okay. I can admit he's generally better than I am. I get him every once in a while.
You know, have you ever considered getting a camera shot of just like your pinball room in the basement in all its majesty? This is pretty freaking cool to look at. It really is.
Nah, I don't think that would relate to the stream very well, but yeah.
Just like one open shot, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
boom, there you go.
I can take a still. I don't know. It's a problem.
It's pretty cool. You know, I see that Indianapolis 500 doesn't have a topper. I think you've got a Houdini topper that would go beautifully on top of that thing.
Yeah. Swain actually bought my Houdini. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. I
It could
worked
be
really
done.
hard on it.
It can be tilted.
Oh, you tilted it? Mm-hmm. It's set at the very bare minimum, so I don't want to hear any griping. Right.
Do you have pictures of game room on the Slap Save?
Man, dude.
Do you have pictures of your game room on the Slap Save Pinball podcast?
I don't know if it is or not.
Okay. Huh?
He's got pictures of other things.
Oh, my. I think
Alright.
it does.
Practice. That'll come in handy.
But yeah, I think maybe I'll do this with a little 480 camera and start streaming some of these old school games. Bugs
Yeah.
Bunny. Bugs
Yeah,
Bunny
you
would
have
be
to
the
watch
first
it on
one.
an old CRT monitor.
Yes, you must.
That is not as easy as you think.
Less bandwidth. I mean, you could probably do that over dial-up. I think no problem.
Yeah, like a good 28.8 baud modem.
Yes, exactly. Remember, you get the 56K modems, but they couldn't go all the way to 56K. They were like rev limited for some funny reason.
Oh man, blast from the past.
They should make a pinball machine based off of a telephone.
Yeah, where like you can dial into the pinball machine,
Oh, that'd
right?
be interesting.
That would be pretty cool.
That's what they should call it. That would
Yeah,
like attract
like-
all the hobbies.
Yeah, dial in to the pinball machine, the game, right? Yeah.
You hook up your phone cable, you know?
And also, like, what are the kids like these days? Drones? Have some drones.
1812 goes for about.
I hear 1812 is only owned by losers in Oklahoma.
Oh dear. You know what you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about that loser in Oklahoma that owns class of 1812.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh, shoot. Love you. You know, I gotta say, I'm very glad that Spooky and Stern are picking up where Gottlieb left off with their street level pinball machines, and they're making a comeback.
Well, Dennis Creasel will have some things to say about the Gottlieb street levels. He actually wrote a really cool article about Gottlieb street level games.
Hey, I'm a proud owner of a Silver Slugger. I love that machine. That was one of the first games I remember playing.
You want to know why? According to his article, one of the problems with the street level games where they didn't take off is because they,
Distributors?
the distributors sold them at normal prices
Yep.
and pocketed the difference.
I read that article as well. I remember reading that. Yeah, they
Yeah.
tried to make the machines cheaper
Yeah.
for operators. And
I mean,
and
it's
the
it's people.
distributors just pocketed that.
It's people like Zach in the world that just did them in,
Oh,
right,
boy.
Zach?
Oh, those-
Is he still in here? I don't want to make fun. I don't want to give him guff if he's not here to defend himself.
That's very true. They honestly were pretty fun. I enjoyed them. I mean, shoot, you could still have multi-balls with them, with all the scoops they had in the playfield.
Jason, how you doing?
I'm all right. I don't have your 8,000 million or whatever, but
Yeah, it was,
I'm getting
8,000 million. That's apparently what Jason thinks my score is.
We gotta go.
Well, pinball nerds, I'm glad to hear that. That A, Zach is gone, and B, that he's doing very well at Jurassic Park. I really want to get one of those games.
really?
Yeah, I love Jurassic Park.
Me too. That's why I have one in my basement.
Yeah, you've got the OG. You got the OG JP.
That's right. T-Rex goes back and forth. He watches you play pinball, man. He watches you. Now, I do have to say, it's the original one that came with Data East, so it's got like the black chiclets-looking teeth in the mouth. But you kind of know it's the T-Rex with the sound effects and everything.
Magic Man, once we kind of get a better handle on what these streams entail, we were thinking about traveling to different locations, like maybe even my house or Swain's or a local establishment or something like that. But right now we don't have any set plans.
One of my favorite EM machines that I played a long time ago, there was an arcade in the Lake of the Ozarks right off the strip called the Rebel Arcade. It had tons and tons of old EM machines. But it was an asymmetrical machine called Dixieland. Had a lot of fun stuff to do. Ooh.
We could travel to Oklahoma City and stream 1812. And it can just be... we can make it a marathon stream, like 12 hours of us just backhanding that ramp. Million! Man, Jason's doing well. He's been up there for a while.
Shall we give him our rendition of the chicken? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we just lost half our listeners.
Oh well.
Oh, shoot. So is he recording the audio so he can slice and dice this and put it into his podcast? I think that'd be a great way to open the Slash Saves podcast.
I think that's the plan, is that he is recording this, and we're going to make like an intro of like greatest hits or something like that. I don't know. He says a lot of things, and I just tune it out a lot.
Gotcha.
Right, Jason?
What's that?
Yep.
After 4 years, I wonder, and I'd like to imagine how difficult it would be to put a pinball machine back together that you took apart 4 years ago.
I'm guessing you have about 90% of the pieces you need.
That's maybe enough. Okay. Countdown Hocus Pocus 2001.
And Charlie's Angels. I've actually heard Charlie's Angels is a lot of fun. Again, I'm not super familiar with a lot of those older games.
All right. Had one of the good games, the Trivia 1 machine that was both EM as well as solid state was Grand Prix. That might have been one of the first solid states, I think, because you can play Grand Prix either way. The old
Really?
Williams game. Yeah.
Huh.
It's pretty cool.
Ooh, shots fired. 2001 can suck it.
Ouch.
Ooh. Magic Man, we'll talk more about when the Gorgar raffle is happening on this week's episode of the podcast. And the translation of that is, I'm not entirely sure, because I don't make the decisions, I just work here.
Why don't we make the decisions for him?
Yeah, I'm gonna start playing with all these dials that he plays with.
Oh, I was gonna start the.
I got all the aliens.
I was gonna start the bidding at 50 cents, no reserve.
No.
Gotcha. No, not really.
All right, I'm on.
I got all 6 aliens.
Yeah, Chris. So Jason talked about it a little earlier in the stream, and we're going to announce it on the this week's episode. If you look in the upper left, Devil with a Cause, we're going to be raffling off. We're not raffling. We're like an auction of Gorgar, Jason's Gorgar, that's right here behind my head, to benefit Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital here in St. Louis. We're going to use the proceeds to get a Project Pinball game in there for the children. Jason has a lot of history with Cardinal Glennon Hospital back when he was a child and going through some medical issues. And my work, I do a lot of work in the medical device industry. I did a lot of work over there with the surgeons and the staff over at Cardinal Glennon, and they are truly amazing. And we're hoping to do something good for the hospital and kind of give back to our community a little bit. I think I'm up.
Just a little bit.
So I got a question for you guys. No, Gorgar's not going to go into a children's hospital, trust me. I don't know what Project Pinball is going to put in Cardinal Glennon, but whatever they decide goes in there, I will be in full support of it. So I don't know if any of you listened to our last podcast. Matt and I took some issues with, I guess, the flipping of the Big Lebowski pinball machines.
Oh.
And I'm not going to get into who or what and why, but
It's just a sad story. The
well,
whole thing is.
I wanted to get the opinion. Like, not everybody's like that, though. Like, some people are like, more power to you. You know, like, we are built on a capitalist society, and
ACDC.
what do you
Wow.
what do you guys think?
Who's the side targets? Time's up. Let's
So,
get out of here.
Dennis, I will tell you this. They were reluctant with me as well. I talked to Daniel, and he was like, what I need you to do is contact the hospital and get a letter of authorization. And, no, that's perfect, Magic. There's no problem with that. I appreciate you being that way about it. I know Zach disagrees, and there's nobody I hold higher in regard than Zach, so I can still love you if you don't agree with me. But I just wanted to see what the general consensus was on it. But getting back to Dennis, you said that you contracted your local children's hospital. I was fortunate enough to know someone who was on the board of directors and talked to them at length about why the pinball machine would be a good fit. And it also helped that another major children's hospital here in town has one. So they were all for it. I agree, Dennis, 100%. So we're talking about flipping.
Yes. Yes.
Specifically,
Big Lebowski.
the Big Lebowski, because of what's
The whole backstory,
Yeah.
the baggage.
Yep.
You know, and it's just one big debacle. The early achievers really got hosed terribly to games that they paid for, and one would believe they should rightfully be theirs. But what should be done with the games? I mean, it seems like ARA's trying to recoup their losses. It's really a shame. It seems like Dutch Pinball really dropped the ball with finances, and it seems it's very apparent the early achievers really got shafted on it. We're talking about the whole hiccup with Dutch Pinball ARA and the Lebowski's being sold off out from underneath the early achievers.
It's crappy. It's a crappy thing that happened.
Yeah, it's just
And it really sucks because the Big Lebowski is such a fun game,
Yeah.
and no one should have to pay twice for it or $30,000 for it.
Yeah, the flipping, like the whole thing's sad. I can understand why ARA's selling them. I understand that the EAs should be getting them because they paid for them.
Yeah. Chris the Pintern, you can get P3s from Zach at Flippin' Out Pinball. I'm sorry, go ahead,
Oh,
Swain.
you're fine. No, I think Zach sells pretty much everything.
Yeah, Zach sells everything. Pinball, that is. Wink.
Yeah, you know, if the games are going to be flipped, I really don't think I'd have an issue if ARA auctioned them at that point. If the early achievers aren't getting them, you know, I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
who cares? Who
I'm not.
It's just so.
I am by no means a legal expert, and I know something had to be done to, ARA. That was that ARA, right? So
the contract
they
manufacturer.
like, you can't expect them to just roll over and eat the
Take
cost,
it.
and Dutch didn't do well with their business, so someone was going to get screwed. It's just.
Was there a coin door camera view? Interesting. I'll ask him before we wrap up. Maybe we can do that really quick. To bust the camera into the coin door to show all the guts in the machine and everything.
Or Carrie, are you just are you wanting a shot of Jason's crotch? Is that what you're after?
Easy.
Oh, Carrie Hardy talked to Jason. There's supposedly a coin door camera that was promised.
You're gonna show people inside the machine or something.
Nah, he was talking about this camera right here.
Oh.
Ah!
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
good Lord.
Oh, there went everybody.
Yeah. Oop, Zoo reviewers. Way to go, Jason.
Yeah, Magic Man, the whole pre-order thing just doesn't work very well, obviously. There's too many people that get, very giddy at the prospect of some of the games that are promised that aren't even, made yet.
Yeah, and it's nice
I don't even know how.
to think that
They're
your investment can bring something to fruition, but just don't do it. I mean, it's a gamble. I mean, if you have $8,500 to spare, I know I don't, but I mean, yeah, go for it. But it's a gamble, and you very well may. In this case, as an example, you very well may lose your money.
Yeah. What were some of the other debacles? You got Skit B with was that Predator that went south?
Yeah.
And then you had J-Pop, and I mean they promised like 3 different games, didn't they? And then, I mean, at least they actually made some machines, Dutch Pinball, but boy, did that go south quickly.
Oh, okay.
Swain, you're up. Or did you get an extra ball, Jason? Nope,
No,
player 3.
Alrighty. But yeah, tell them how you did get to play it up at Silver Ballroom, and it actually was a pretty darn fun game.
Yeah, so
most people haven't.
Doc up at it was Doc, right? Yeah, Doc up at the Silver Ballroom got a hold of his Big Lebowski and had it up there for a little bit.
Yeah, he routes everything.
And it was so much fun. I love the movie. So all the call outs to the movie was, it was entertaining to play. But even aside from that, the game itself was a blast. Like, it had a good layout, good shot flow, good modes, good.
One of the really neat interactive toys, and it was a bash toy, but it was a rug. And
Yeah,
as
the
you
rug.
hit the rug.
It really tied the pinball machine together.
The rug would move up and open up a shot to the scoop, and that would start a mode. It was really neat how they did that. And of course, my ball's over. So.
All right. Rapscallion. What? So I'm gonna guess one of you two knows what that word means because I don't. Is J-Pop the biggest rapscallion? Am I saying that right?
Kind of like a shyster,
Rapscallion.
carpetbagger.
You've never heard rapscallion before?
I haven't.
It's like a rake, a rastabout.
I don't know what either one of those words mean either.
I know.
Let me get out my phone.
With it's a shame with what's the guy's name? John Papaduke. It seems like he really wanted to make the games. He has the chops to do it. He's made some very gorgeous machines. It just sounds like he didn't have someone over him cracking the whip to make sure the actual games got built and finished in a decent timeline.
The definition of rapscallion.
There you go.
Rapscallion is a mischievous person. Thanks, Roden. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. I can't wait to see you in Chicago. I don't know that I would consider him a mischievous person. I think his heart was in the right place,
Yeah.
and I think he's got some undeniable talent as a designer. I just think that his ability to turn those visions without a proper team in place can't happen.
You need management over you to make it work. You need the business side as well.
Well, and it is a common theme in pinball. I think that you have people with a lot of really good ideas, but their ability to implement them and actually nail down manufacturing is what separates the successful companies like the ones we have now from the dreamers.
Yeah.
And some of the dreamers, I think, try to get that first foot on the ladder, and you have some flops like the Home Pins of the world, like the Dutch Pinballs, like the Highways. Those guys had good ideas, and I think the Big Lebowski is a great game. I just think that they didn't have the proper ability to manufacture and finance what they wanted
The
to do.
infrastructure.
Obviously, yeah, because
The
they
infrastructure and the
contracted out to
process.
ARA, and
Yeah.
I think anytime you contract things out, you lose control of what is being done. And I think Spooky is a great example of staying small, having modest build amounts that they're going to do, and then rolling with the pros and cons of that. The pros are they have direct control and control over costs on what happens, but the cons are you're putting out how many games a year? Not many. You know, they're going to struggle to get demand if the next Denisi game is as exciting as what I think it's going to be.
This is our co-host, by the way.
Yeah, this is Yogi. He's kind of a butthole.
Let's get this.
Well, you are to eat.
Hey, Yogi. Hey, bud.
But Magic Man, you're right. You can have the best design and art and layout and vision in the world, but if you can't make it a reality, you might as well be just
A pipe dream.
yeah,
Just keep it there.
yeah. That's nothing. So yeah, you're 100% right.
What?
Yeah. Well, Magic, I will give you one rebuttal to your comment. You're right. Pinball is a manufacturing thing. Design, art, vision, all that stuff doesn't matter. I present to you Home Pin. It obviously does. Because he had the manufacturing. China will manufacture anything. They will manufacture a cardboard box for you. But there is design, art, and vision factors that have to be there. And I think he wrote those off and had your mentality and got bit for it. Now, granted, he was also not generally a good
It's a
person.
little
I'm censoring
acerbic
that.
to everybody.
Yeah, belligerent and just there's more factors to it than that. But yeah, you're right to a certain degree.
Yep. We got a Yogi cameo. Jason, you're up.
You're up.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, I immediately
Third ball, and
lost
then we're
my
going to
ball.
shut this down. So start saying your goodbyes.
All right. In all honesty, I think the most disappointing thing about the whole Dutch pinball debacle was they actually did make the game. They made them in numbers. And, you know, it wasn't quite stillborn. It just never got off the ground. Yeah. It's everything. If you goof up one thing, you know, you don't have a good machine or it doesn't get out. With that being said, this is ball number 3 everyone's on right now.
Yep, ball number 3.
Well, we better make our goodbyes quick, because once I start playing, it's going to be over in about 10 seconds. So.
It okay, Swain.
Yeah. I'm wearing a hat next time, though.
Yep.
That's what I'm going to say. I'm gonna
Yeah, that assumes that we're inviting you back.
Oh, yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. We're going to be, you and I both are going to be asked not to return probably.
Gotcha. I understand. Well, I mean, you didn't invite me for some of your own podcasts.
Chris,
Chicks
thank you
dig
for
it.
showing up. This is, I am very happy that we still have 12 viewers. I am very happy that we had the peak that we did. It's just fun to play pinball and just BS with people, you know? Yes, and Zach is 100% right. We're shooting for Thursdays at 7:30. Oh. Man. Where are our mods? We need to get Gwumpy banned.
I drink in moderation. Well, like when people say that I drink a lot, then I don't drink a whole bunch, so it seems like in moderation. But it's a numbers game, I think. Oh well.
Yeah, so we're not trying to go head to head with anyone.
Oh, come on, give me
We're
that
just
back.
trying to have a fun night with pinball friends.
Yeah, pretty much. But definitely one of the things Jason said, his MO was to.
Well, yeah,
get more
I know what you
exposure.
meant.
Just to get more exposure to the odd games, though. Hey, it was an absolute blast.
Chris, thanks for showing up.
Cheers.
Yeah, Jason already has us annihilated. He's already got more than my highest score ever on this game, and he's still going. No, he's gonna steal that.
Good job, buddy. Oh my.
Swain just got a wet dog beard on the back of his neck. Yeah, Zach. You can set the difficulty per player on a P3, so I'm pretty sure that's what Jason did. Is he set it easy for himself,
Gotcha.
and that's why he's ripping it up.
Did you get an extra ball, or is that it, buddy? Alrighty.
I was after my GC, didn't get there. Oktoberfest looking mode. That's a
Yeah,
great way
so
to put
you
it.
have to hit.
It is.
You have to hit the mugs to fill them up, and then you have to hit them again to drink them.
Yep. And then after you go, it'll get like double vision. So, and then you get double scoring and then triple scoring if you go long enough. Night, Chris. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Multi-ball!
This
It's
is Guinness,
on now.
and then I had a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale and a Dos Equis Amber and another Guinness, and I was a little frustrated because we couldn't get the stream working right.
Yeah,
But normally I'm a Scotch guy in very small amounts, but tonight
you should, it's
I was
very
trying to calm
small
my
amounts.
nerves.
Yeah, you should see his liquor cabinet. It's about 80 grand in scotch up there.
No, it's not. Whatever. It's
All
like
right,
$200.
sorry, 70 grand. I was being a little
I drink the cheap
exaggerative.
stuff.
That I'm making up words now. That's why I'm drinking Sprite.
So Magic's got a question. What would you fit in one lineup of four?
Congratulations!
4 games.
So he initially asked, how many games would you own before getting a P3?
Oh, it depends on the situation. So are you going to have do you have an apartment? Do you have a really small house, or your wife or husband only allow one machine? Honestly, I know this may not be like something that you would expect, but I think the P3 would be up there because of the ability to just have it take up one spot,
Yeah.
and then have multiple games within it.
It's also really great for children.
Yeah.
It's a great, maybe in future streams we'll show some of the other modes
yeah.
that
yeah.
you can.
So
Okay, well,
honestly-
speaking of children, we're getting boob up on the.
No.
what's going on? Oh yeah. Put me down. Put me down for Jay, please.
Okay.
Thanks, Berto. Appreciate it.
Maybe in the future streams we'll show some of the other games outside of Lexi Lightspeed to show just how fun it can be for children. And
Berto, I agree 100% except for one of those. You want to take a stab at which one it is? Meteor is an awesome game. Stern Star Trek is an awesome game. It comes down to the last two.
what are we?
So he was saying bank of 4. You could only have 4 machines. And Berta said Meteor, F-14, Doctor Who, and Stern.
Oh,
Star
I would
Trek.
I would boot Doctor Who so quick.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I do not like F-14.
It's
I
just
love
'cause you're
Steve
not,
Ritchie,
It's
too.
just because you're not good at pinball.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah, it is a brutal game.
It is very brutal.
Yeah, Deadpool's awesome. Deadpool. What do you think about Deadpool, Matt?
I love it.
Deadpool is one of the best Sterns. I'm okay with saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be right there with you. It's
Yep.
one of the best Sterns ever.
Yep. DW. What is that?
Doctor Who.
Dilly Wonka.
Yeah. That's Dilly Wonka.
What is DW? I can't.
Doctor Who.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the problem is that center bank, man, is a mess of mechanics. If you can get it to work reliably, I love that game. I love those little what do you call those things? The robots.
Daleks.
Yeah, Daleks.
Yeah.
See, that for me, I hate the noise
The
they make.
screaming noise. That's my only turn off of that game.
What do you mean?
No, the as
yeah.
they get killed.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, whenever I've played a Doctor Who, I mean, even on location, even like recently, I've never had issues with that center mech. They've
Yeah,
always
I've never
worked
seen one
flawlessly.
where it was wonky.
You know, Williams
honestly.
really
Yeah.
engineered their stuff well. Same thing for Machine Bright at Pinbot. I've never seen that
Yeah.
mech not work properly.
That's true.
You know, they're pretty solid, so don't get scared of them.
Yeah. Well,
Ooh,
Berto,
guys,
good luck.
that is
The
gonna be
playfield
a-
swap. Yeah.
Good luck playing the game.
Yeah,
after
good luck playing the
swap.
game because that is going to be it's going to be over before you launch it.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we're running
gonna
short
shut
on
her down.
time here. We've been
It's a
up for-
weeknight. We got to go to work tomorrow. So
Yep.
everyone that joined us, and honestly, everyone that stuck around even through our connection issues and came back, and those of you that joined us late, Dennis, thank you. Carrie, thank you. All of you guys, Zach, thanks for the support and being here. Appreciate it.
Very much so.
Magic, huge thanks. Albert, love you. Glumpy, you guys are awesome. And for our first stream, this has exceeded our expectations. And I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of fun, and we're going to continue to do it. So we're going to bounce around for some other games that you guys might not know a lot about and just put some time on them. You may decide that you love them. You may decide that you still hate them, whatever. But we're going to continue to have fun. And make sure that you let us know what your streaming channels are if you stream and we aren't following you, because we'd love to. So
Sounds good. Well, it's been an absolute blast. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me as a guest. I very much
Anytime.
enjoyed it.
Anytime, Swain.
all right,
Thank you, buddy.
Bring your jorts.
take care, guys. We'll see you next time.
Good night, guys.